Nylon and Brown right now in front of the net. Nylon's got the reputation that he can really go, and Brown's got the reputation, and well-deserved, that he can throw them as well. So both these guys just squared right off and went after each other. And they're unloading with left hands. Nylon's helmet just come off, and Brown's trying to come up underneath and over. Nylon's standing right in there with him. Both players are really unloading. I don't think too many of those punches really hit. Nylon just caught Brown with a pretty good one right there. But both these guys are the policemen for the respective clubs. They take their job seriously, and their linesmen are just letting them go. As Nylon goes down to the ice, now the linesmen are quick to jump in as Nylon goes down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes.
Well, that's pretty good showing, didn't he?
Yeah. Look in there. What I tell you to keep going.
Pretty good show, and that was a good job.
We get a time of a play and a stoppage. There we go. And this time it's Brown and McKay.
Oh. Well, Kartner didn't fare that well with McKay, so I guess Brown decided to give him a try, and you can see how effective Brown is by being on the ice. And if anybody wants to start any nonsense, number 21 is going to take care of it. Good man to have in your hockey club.
Well, they've averaged 58 minutes and penalty minutes during the...
Roussel moving it past Domi, who slammed into the boards. And ready to drop the gloves with Boyman. Brown steps in. Here they go.
You know, Domi went to slash the stick of Roussel, and Boyven nailed Domi from behind, knocking Domi head first, or at least shoulder first, into the boards. And Big Dave Brown's got the left hand going. And is he tough? Domi has the long reach to come back with, and Domi can't get his left hand free. One-sided win for Dave Brown. I don't think this one's over for the night, Sam. Domi, I think, was partially stunned with the hit from Boyven knocking Domi into the boards, and Domi went up to go with Boyven, and at the same time Dave Brown stepped in, and Dave Brown, I think he's the best at that business. He showed it. We'll be right back.
The guy that hit me the hardest was definitely Dave Brown, and I was laughing after Dave Brown said to me, "Ty, I don't want to fight you. I can't hurt you." And I'm still smiling. Meanwhile, I'm smiling. I'm dazed. But he hit me hard. That's the hardest I've been hit by Dave Brown.
Anger that had to come out at some point, and I think that's how Brownie usually did it. There was an anger, and when that anger come out, he looked the hell out because it was coming.
Right.
Oh yeah, and he had those dead eyes like a shark, like just cruising.
Yeah. He was one tough man. He was one tough.
Baumgartner's back alongside Dave Brown. Here they go. Sure enough, give them some fighting room. Two heavyweights ready to go. Yeah.
Oh, they got in close now. Brown's trying to lock him out, but Baumgartner's already got a real good grip. Now, Brown's got a lot greater reach than Baumgartner, and right now he's got a lot better punches than Baumgartner. Right to the knees, and down, and over. You notice Dave Brown pushing his sleeves up and his elbow pads up? I mean, that gives the opponent nothing to grab. A guy will try and grab your wrist, the jersey near your wrist or near your elbow. You push him up, and there's nothing there to grab.
Well, there was no doubt that they wanted to go. They both wanted to go. Baumgartner trying to get a grip on. He's trying to keep his head in behind or in to the side of Brown's face just because his left hand is loose, and you see Brown taking advantage of the fact that Baumgartner can't get a grip on that left arm or the sweater of the left arm. Not a whole lot of players in that situation. They're groping in with their hands.
Well, here we have Dave Brown and John Kordic, as we had been able to predict from the stoppage of play. A couple of southpaws. Boy, Brown was really going for the left uppercut there too, wasn't he?
Dave Brown has a decided reach advantage, and he really locked John Kordic out. Now look what he's got. He's got his hand held behind him. When you talk heavyweights, folks, you're talking these two guys. What a great battle. Stand-up battle all the way. Well, Dave Brown said his role was pretty simple in the Flyers organization, and it looks like John Kordic has a bloody nose. You bet he does. So my role is simple. If there's a problem on the ice, I go out and fix it.
Inside Hoffmeyer. Now we got a fight. Andy Brown and Kluzak. Oh, and Kluzak's getting murdered.
Dave Brown took a run at Kluzak earlier in the period. They both looked at each other, and this time Brown took another shot at him, and they both dropped their sticks and went at it. This just to the left of the Flyers players bench. Brown, a left-hander, hit Kluzak with about 2 or 3 punches, and he went down. They're both being sent to the respective dressing rooms. Of course, with only 4:41 left in this first period, they'll pick up majors for fighting. Of the game, Dave Brown and Gord Kluzak. Evans and Brown taking Kluzak into the boards. Brown had dropped his stick before he even took it in there. Either that or he dropped it, and then they just stopped and went at it.
Oh, we got a $10. Cochran and Dave Brown. Coxe, is it?
Yes, it's Coxe and Brown. Boy, I'll tell you, Brown is really landing some left punches on young Craig Coxe. And it started, you could see something going to happen, Gene, as there was a couple of checks thrown at some of the smaller Flyers, and quickly Brown was sent out on the next shift.
Well, I said, remember Coxey's Army was looking for a little battle there. All right, they'll get majors and maybe more with 8:47 remaining in regulation from Vancouver. Flyers 6 and Vancouver 1.
Oh, he's beaten up pretty good. I'll tell you, it happened in the corner. Flyers trying to control the puck inside the zone. Coxe took a run at Dave Brown. Brown saw him coming. They got their sticks up high. Then they both dropped their gloves and went at it. And then Brown landed a number of shots, cut him, Craig Coxe over the eye. Coxe got a couple of shots in it, but it didn't seem to be too much damage done to Dave Brown. Coxe has gone to the Vancouver dressing room. Looking at each other. Here they go again. There they go again. Oh, boy, I'll tell you, he has really given it to Wells. He has given it to him. They're both throwing the punches. Brown has landed about 4 or 5 left hands. Wells got a couple of right hands in there, and you could bet that he wasn't going to waste his last minute or his last major on young tour. He wanted to make sure he got a shot at back. Boy, I'll tell you, Wells. You talk about heavyweights. Well, those two guys were just standing there, hell-bent for election. They weren't worrying about protecting themselves. All they want to do is just hammer the other guy, and the linesmen are in between them. Boy, I'll tell you, Brown really landed some left hands on Wells. He is cut over the eyes, over the bridge of the nose for punches that Brown threw at him. I think that first one, when you hit him with that first one, your eyes water and you don't see that good. He just kept on boom, boom, boom. And it'll be interesting to see.
Brown and Jim McKenzie at neutral ice.
McKenzie wants to get organized with a right hand. Now gone with a left, and he lands a couple. Brown, in the meantime, has scored some points. They hit the ice. Boy, two heavyweights battling there. Dave Brown and Jim McKenzie.
I'll tell you, this is the ultimate as far as heavyweights go. Dave Brown, I guess, doesn't lose too many. That's what we hear from around here, and it's a good chance to see Jim McKenzie in action.
13:01 remaining in a scoreless first period. Let's go.
5 minutes each for Jim McKenzie and Dave Brown. You know when a fight's as good as that? Two straight guys, they collide, drop the gloves, go at it. I don't think they should. They give them 2 minutes each. Let them back on the ice. What the heck was it?
We get up there, we're in warm-up, and I don't know why, but I'm skating around at the end of warm-up, kicking a puck in my skates. I'm on the red line. and this big guy stretching on our side. Just as he gets up, I run into him. Not hard, but I ran into him. And they got this little yappy guy. It's either Linsman or Acton. I always get him confused. And he looks at me, he looks at the big guy, he goes, "Holy cow, Brown." He goes, "This kid's trying to show you up in your own building. What are you going to do?" And the big guy looks at him, looks at me, goes, "You're dead." And I'm like, "Buddy, I got more things to worry about than this nonsense." Like, whatever. Like, well, for the rest of warm up, we're like slap shot. We're, bumping into each other. And then we're looking at each other, doing all this. Go out first or second shift. The big guy comes over, gives me let's go. All right. So we have a fight. It turns out it's a great fight. Go to the box, serve my 5, coming back to the bench, and the whole bench is up. The whole bench is going nuts. And so the next shift back then it was the norm. If you didn't think it did well, you went out and fought the same guy again. So I get out there and I give the guy a shove and let's go again. And he can just like settle down, play some hockey, whatever he said. I can't remember what he says. I'm still fired. I'll go right to the bench and change because I'm so frustrated. Third period, we're down a goal, 10 minutes left. I'm done. And I'm down by Darryl Ray. And I'm pouting. And he says, "What's your problem?" He said, "You scored a goal last night." He said, "You just fought the toughest guy in the league or one of the toughest guys. Like, what's your deal? Like, what are you talking about, Razor?" I said, "Should have killed this guy. You saw me last year. Like, I scored a goal and the coach yelled at me. I said, I don't even give it to this guy tonight. Like, I'm getting sent down. I'll probably never play in the NHL again. Like, I hate this game." He goes, "Do you know who you fought?" I go, "Yeah, some Brown guy." He goes, "Dave Brown." I'm like, "Ooh, Dave Brown, Charlie Brown, downtown Brown." Like, yeah. He goes, "Dave Brown." I'm like, "Dave Brown of the Philadelphia Flyers." He goes, "How about Dave Brown that got traded to Edmonton last year?" So you really didn't know who you fought? I said, "I had no idea." I said, I thought Brownie still played for Philadelphia.
And here they go, Dave Brown and Shawn Cronin. And Cronin got the worst of it. You could see that one coming right off the face-off. They were jawing during commercial break. And that's their second scrap of the night. A decisive win for Brown in that one. And once again, they're on their way to the penalty box.
Oh, you can't. That might cool him now.
Top right corner right there. Drop their gloves, and then you can't let Dave Brown get his full extension. Here he's got that left hand out. Ooh, and he connects, and down goes Cronin.
Brown and Grimson. And Brown has landed some lefts. Well, we thought this would happen. It didn't take long, and Dave Brown is laying a beating on Stu Grimson.
We kind of figured this would happen. And you see Dave Brown looking at his hand. Look at his knuckles there as he leaves. And Dave Brown looks over at the Calgary Flames bench.
Well, they said the first fight was close in Edmonton. That one is a decision for the Oilers' Dave Brown. See what effect that has.
Look at the top of your screen. Here's Brown and Grimson. They meet, and they go right at it. Both players get 5 minutes, but you see Brown got that left hand loose, and when he does, there's nobody in the league that can go at Dave Brown.
If I was going to ultimately carve out a role for myself in the game with the Calgary Flames, I knew that the path to doing that ran right through Dave Brown. He was, back then, probably the baddest, meanest man on the planet. You know, it was kind of round 2, me and Brownie again. And it didn't go as well this time. I couldn't find that left hand, and he clipped me 3 or 4 times pretty bad. Knocked me down, wasn't knocked out, but I went to wipe under my eye because I thought for sure he had cut me underneath my eye. But there was no cut there. There was no blood there, which surprised me, but there was a really significant depression under my right eye. And I knew something serious, something structural, something sinister had happened there. And sure enough, he had broken my cheekbone underneath there and broken my orbital bone in several places as well.
A fight going on between Russell and Dave Brown, and Russell is not pulled by Brown. And now his teammates in to help out.
And here's Buchberger and Creighton dangerously close to going at it. Cam Russell's a game kid. But you should read some press clippings before you go with Dave Brown. Russell's tall, but he's not that heavy. He only weighs about 180 pounds. And he was no match for Dave Brown.
Dave Brown is getting a reputation around the league. And now
Oh, watch this one. Oh! Yeah, boom.
Buckberger pairing off with Hunter, and now it is Brown and Kite. And that was even more decisive than the score. And Buckberger again. This all started with Roberts and Smith pushing, but they are now standing apart, unimpeded. Now they're trying to get back in the fray. Give Kite credit, he's back up and trying to start round 2, but I'm not sure if that's well advised.
Well, Brown was on top of Kite, just hammering him with the left hand. And everybody stopped on the ice to watch that.
I remember you winning far more than you lost when you fought in the Battle of Alberta, but you remember Dave Brown playing for the Flyers, and he's a tough customer.
Well, if you look at his sweater, he's got tremendous strength. The left arm is a little bit tighter, or a lot tighter than his right arm, so it's very difficult if you're fighting with him and you see the left arm there. It's very difficult to get a hold of it. Jim Kite didn't. And if you're trading punches with a guy the size of Dave Brown, with the strength of Dave Brown, you end up coming out on most occasions on the wrong end of his fist. His elbow pad is gone, and you see that left arm. It's tight even against his bare arm. If you put an elbow pad in that, it's even tighter.
Did you love fighting? Like, did you like fighting?
Oh, I think you had to like it. You had
Well,
to like it.
You know, some guys though, right? Like they're like, some guys maybe take the role on, right? But you liked, yeah, okay.
I think you had to like it a little bit, otherwise you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I think probably what I liked the most was that after you had a fight, the feeling that you helped the rest of your team.
Yeah.
That's what was the most rewarding. That you thought you did your job for the team. That was probably the most rewarding thing. And also you're hoping you did it because you're hoping it's going to help you win the game. Otherwise, why would you do it?
You're trying to do your job again, are you? You're trying to do your job, are you? Oh, that's really nice.
See Hunter very animated there. Trying to do your job there. Nice going, Dave Brown.
Jersey a little tighter on your fucking arm, you pussy.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, another meaningless game in Alberta.
That's good.
Hey.
And Dave Brown now sits himself down beside Craig Simpson.
Tight around, you big fucking.
And now Simpson, or Brown, will take up the case.
Hey, Timmy, you got that fucking glove cemented on?
And here is the leader of them all, Mark Messier.
Bringing the cup over to the players that did not play. That's Brown with it up over his head now. It's quite a change. Usually he's got a guy over his head like that.
He'd rather this pose, I'm sure.